Cinderella. In a peaceful European kingdom, the sun rose over quiet villages and forests. Stone houses glowed softly in the morning light. It was a land where magic still whispered through the air. And this is where Cinderella's story begins. Cinderella sat beside her mother's bed, holding her weak hand. The room was silent except for gentle breathing. Her mother spoke softly, asking her to always remain kind. Cinderella promised, with tears in her eyes. After her mother passed away, Cinderella visited her grave every day. She knelt beneath a small hazel tree planted in memory. She spoke her heart quietly to the wind, and she never forgot her promise. One day, Cinderella's father returned home with a new wife and her 2 daughters. They entered the house as if it already belonged to them. At first, they spoke politely, but kindness did not live in their hearts. Soon, the stepmother took away Cinderella's fine clothes. She gave her a simple gray dress instead. Cinderella was sent to work like a servant. Her life quietly changed forever. At night, Cinderella slept near the fireplace among ashes and cinders. The warmth of the fire was her only comfort. The house above her felt cold and distant, yet she never lost her gentle nature. Before sunrise each day, Cinderella woke to begin her chores. She cleaned, cooked, and carried heavy water buckets. No one helped her. Still, she worked without complaint. While Cinderella scrubbed the floors, her stepsisters rested nearby. They laughed and talked carelessly. They treated her as if she were invisible. But Cinderella remained silent. Cinderella carefully combed her stepsisters' hair every morning. She fixed their dresses and tied their ribbons. They never thanked her.
To them, this was her place.
She knelt on the floor to polish their shoes until they shined. Her hands grew tired and sore. The sisters only checked their reflections. Cinderella lowered her eyes. When the work was done, Cinderella sat quietly by the hearth. She watched the glowing embers fade. In the silence, she dreamed of peace. Hope lived quietly inside her. One day, Cinderella planted a small hazel branch on her mother's grave. She watered it with care. She believed her mother was watching, and the tree slowly began to grow. The hazel tree grew tall and strong. A white bird often rested in its branches. It felt like a blessing from heaven. Cinderella felt less alone. Soon, royal messengers arrived in the village. They announced a grand festival at the palace. The prince would choose a bride. The kingdom buzzed with excitement. The stepsisters rushed to prepare their gowns. They tried on dresses and jewelry. Cinderella helped them patiently. Her own heart quietly wished. The stepmother threw lentils into the ashes. She ordered Cinderella to sort them. Only then, she said, could Cinderella think of going. It was a cruel trick. Cinderella knelt and began sorting the lentils. She whispered for help. Little birds flew in and worked beside her. The task was finished quickly. Still, the stepsisters mocked Cinderella's dream. They laughed at her simple dress. They told her she did not belong at the palace. Cinderella said nothing. That evening, the stepsisters left for the palace. Their gowns shimmered in the sunset light. Cinderella watched from the doorway. Her heart felt heavy. Alone, Cinderella ran to the hazel tree and cried. She prayed quietly beneath its branches. The moonlight wrapped around her, and magic listened. The white bird appeared with shining gifts. A silver gold gown and glass slippers lay before her. Cinderella dressed in wonder. Her tears turned to hope. Cinderella entered the palace ballroom. Music paused as everyone looked at her. No one recognized the girl from the ashes. The prince noticed only her. The prince danced with Cinderella all night. He would not let anyone else take her hand. The world seemed to disappear around them. But time was moving. Before midnight, Cinderella slipped away. She ran through the palace halls. Her gown shimmered in the moonlight. She vanished like a dream. The prince searched the empty ballroom.
Her place was gone.
Only silence remained. He longed to see her again. Before dawn, Cinderella returned home. She hid her gown and slippers. She sat once more among the ashes. No one suspected a thing. The next day, the stepsisters talked endlessly. They described the mysterious girl at the ball. Cinderella listened quietly nearby. Her secret stayed safe. On the second night, Cinderella returned to the palace. Her gown was even more beautiful. Again, the prince danced only with her. Again, she disappeared. By the third day, the stepmother watched closely. Something felt strange to her. Suspicion grew in her eyes. But she said nothing. At the third ball, Cinderella shone brighter than ever. The prince never left her side.
He was determined this time.
She would not escape again. As the clock struck midnight, Cinderella ran once more. Her heart beat fast beneath the dark sky. She hurried down the palace stairs. One glass slipper remained behind. The prince rushed forward and picked up the slipper. It shimmered softly in his hand. He knew it belonged only to her. Hope returned to his eyes. The next morning, royal messengers traveled across the kingdom. They carried the delicate glass slipper with great care. The prince declared he would marry its true owner. Excitement filled every home. The messengers arrived at Cinderella's house. The stepsisters rushed forward eagerly. The stepmother forced a proud smile. Cinderella watched quietly from the corner. The elder stepsister tried to fit her foot into the slipper. It was too small and would not slide on. She struggled and forced it painfully, but the shoe would not obey. The younger sister tried next. She pushed and twisted her foot inside. Her face turned red with effort. Still, the slipper would not fit. The prince looked uncertain. Something felt wrong in his heart. He glanced around the simple house. Then he asked, "Is there no other girl here?" The stepmother quickly answered no, but the prince insisted on searching. At last, Cinderella stepped forward quietly. Ashes still dusted her simple dress. The stepsisters laughed in disbelief. The stepmother tried to stop her, but the prince allowed Cinderella to sit. Silence filled the room. Cinderella gently placed her foot into the slipper. It fit perfectly, as if made for her alone. The prince recognized her instantly. Joy filled his heart. The birds punished the cruel sisters. Their wrongdoing returned to them. Justice was complete. Kindness had won. The prince led Cinderella toward the palace. The people watched in wonder. The girl from the ashes walked proudly. Her suffering was over. Cinderella and the prince were married in great celebration. The palace shone with happiness. The kingdom rejoiced. Love ruled the day. The stepsisters walked away into darkness. Their cruelty left them empty. No one followed them. Choices have consequences. Cinderella stood as queen beside the prince. She ruled with kindness and humility. She never forgot her past. Goodness guided her reign. The palace glowed beneath the setting sun. The hazel tree stood peacefully nearby. Cinderella's promise was fulfilled, and kindness lived happily ever after. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more magical